Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you today. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.19 trillion market cap for crypto. And even though the market is up 3.5%, we know that this is a very low market cap for cryptocurrency right now. Everything's trying to recover. We see Bitcoin right now at 57,100 plus, 3,000 plus slightly for over for Ethereum, and $112 billion plus market cap for Tether. USDC is a $33 billion plus market cap. XRP at the number 8 spot at 43 cents. We're up 4.3 on a 24-hour, knowing we went all the way down to 39 cents that I saw for a low. Range of price now between 42 and 44 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. We have some new chart information for you to look at, but I first want to tell you about this because, look, it's Miles Franklin, the best home for precious metals, whether it's gold, silver, platinum, or palladium, or whether you want coins, bars, or any other kind of version of precious metals. They've got it here. All you need to do is info@milesfranklin.com and put DIG gold. Dig gold in the subject box and tell them I want the special pricing list, because that's exactly what you're going to get. And listen, you're going to want it because you know it's $2,300 for gold right now and change. And we could see gold go over $20,000, even $5,000. It's not financial advice, but you may want to start taking a look and see if you've got enough gold in your portfolio, because I know that I don't. And that's why we're talking about it today. Take a listen.
You know, if gold is not a monetary asset, why does the United States have 8,000 tons, 8,000 metric tons? Like,
great point.
Why don't you just have an auction and get the money, you know? And they don't have a good answer for that. Well, the answer is that it still has a monetary role. They just don't want to talk about it.
There you go.
Now, take what I just said and combine it with my discussion about confidence in the dollar. I'm not saying we're going back to a gold standard right away, but here's where the $27,000 comes from. It's not a forecast in the sense of, you know, sit tight, it'll hit $27,000. It's an answer to a question. If you had to restore confidence in the dollar, and if you had to go to a gold standard to do that, which we might, what would the price of gold have to be to make that work? And it's not complicated. I took M1. You know, M1 is a pretty good definition of the money supply. It's broader than M0, but not as broad as M2. Take M1, ask yourself, how much backing do I need to support the dollar? You don't need 100%. The Austrians bang the table and yell 100%. Historically, somewhere between 20 and 40% is enough to maintain confidence. How much gold do we have? 8,133 tons. So with those inputs, you say, okay, if I have 8,000 or so tons, metric tons, and I need to support an M1 money supply of X with 40% gold, what would the price per ounce have to be in order to make that work? And the answer is $27,000. It's just, by the way, it keeps going up. I said the same thing 6-7 years ago, and I said $10,000. I said, Jim, did you change your mind? I said, no, they expanded the money supply. So in other words, if you change one of the inputs, you're going to get a different answer. So the reason the answer is a lot higher today is because the money supply is a lot higher. But take the money supply, take 40% of that, take 8,000 tons, divide the gold by the dollars, and the price per ounce is about $27,000. If you come up with a lower price, I mean, well, you won't. I mean, that's the math. That's 8th grade math. But, or my day was 6th grade math, but whatever. If you pick a lower price, you say, well, that's too high. We think it should be $5,000 an ounce. You can do it, but that is highly, highly deflationary.
There you have it right there. And again, Miles Franklin, info@milesfranklin.com. Put dig gold in the subject box and tell me what the special pricing list. All the metals are there. The amount of liquidated crypto has surpassed 675 million. And this is what I was telling you about of watching the market bleed over the last several days here. And it looks like we are trying to recover at this point. But take a look at this. Is XRP against the Bitcoin chart. This is from the Block Bull. Also forming a doji candle on the weekly signaling indecision against Bitcoin. Again, this is the XRP against Bitcoin chart. Historically, XRP rallied the full measured move within 8 weeks the last time that this occurred. Measured move is 6,000%. Oh my, oh my. And let me just say, we're at 44 cents, so let me just run the math on this for all of us. Okay, 44 cents. Let's just times that times 6,000% would give us that $26 XRP, $27, $25 range we've heard so much about. Again, this is on the XRP to Bitcoin chart that we're seeing the similarity that we've seen in history's past. So the next 8 weeks could prove to be pretty exciting for all of us, but that's not financial advice. Take a listen to this very quickly here as we level set. You may have heard this, but it's very short, and I want you to hear it for where we're going today. Take a listen.
XRP was not a token in the context of retail use. It was a different story for institutions. Where do things stand with that case right now?
So right now, what the courts ruled and the judge said very clearly is XRP in and of itself is not a security. That's everything to us.
Yes.
That was, these are technologies that should be allowed to kind of breathe and thrive and grow. And to me, it's, again, the inevitable march of those technologies, the progress. The case between Ripple and the SEC, we feel like is largely resolved. Most of that went Ripple's way. There's one case that the judge decided when an institutional sales and something called an investment contract, because there's a contract around it, the contract could be a security. And it was deemed that those were unregistered security sales. And so we're in the final, let's say, half mile of that marathon. I think we'll see resolution hopefully this summer. The SEC asked for $2 billion in fines. My estimation is that'll be, certainly in the millions, not the billions. And I think it's, again, just a misguided to even come out and ask for that when there's no accusation or certainly findings of reckless behavior, fraud, or any of those things. The other settlements that they've done have been represented like maybe 1 or 2% of what's been involved. And so it's just kind of posturing, in my opinion.
There you have it right there. Now let's go to this, because the posturing continues as the controversial veto of SAB 121, the rule that was written by Gary Gensler inside of the SEC without permission here. That bill, the President Joe Biden, could be voted on by the House of Representatives next week. So we're going to see what's going to go on there because he overturned that, right? All of this is to try to limit the overreach of the SEC. If you're not aware of what SAB 121 was, it's a rule that was written by Gary Gensler that shouldn't be written. And essentially, it was voted, tried to stop him and repeal that writing of the SAB 121, which passed the House and Senate and then was vetoed by the president. So let's see if this gets through this time. Lauren Believe right here, and maybe it's Believe, maybe it's Believe, I don't know, but you know what? We're grateful that she's head of U.S. public policy for Ripple in the United States. So this is a discussion on Ripple's policy and engagement efforts in Washington, D.C., and the plans for their real U.S. dollar stablecoin. Take a listen to this clip.
Ripple's work enables global financial institutions, businesses, governments, and developers to move, manage, and tokenize value. So we're excited to have Lauren here today to speak with us, tell us more about Ripple's policy engagement efforts in Washington, D.C., and how everything's going with crypto heading into kind of the end of the year, the second half of the year. So Lauren, thanks so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, I feel like so many things at Ripple, like the hits don't stop. I mean, a couple weeks ago, you all announced you'll be launching a stable coin here in the near future. How do you think about that specific new product, Lauren, in the context of the stablecoin, economy and the benefits there, and how does it fit into, kind of the broader picture as you touched on, with enabling commerce and transactions?
Take a
No,
listen.
this is absolutely thrilling. In terms of taking a step back, Ripple has enabled the crypto solutions for businesses around the world. We are in 67 countries. We've launched payment systems and pilots from Brazil, South Korea, Palau, and you have to really think about what that means for like the general globalization of the world. The next step is stablecoin, and we are really excited about this launch. We keep hearing from our customers, this is a customer demand, that they want a common dollarized method of transaction, and that is widely available and always on. And so we hope that this will be the right fit for our existing business channels. And there's so much opportunity here. Today, the stablecoin market is about $150 billion, and we have not entered that market yet. And we expect this market to exceed nearly $3 trillion by 2028. That was independent research that was done. And I think that clear demand is showcasing that the trust, stability, and utility from a company that is compliance first, which Ripple is, would be an ideal player. And we're looking to have this pegged to both the XRP ledger and the Ethereum networks.
And tell us more about where that syncs up with the government, and where there are kind of partnership opportunities for you all with government on moving stable coins forward.
Yeah. Well, currently we are working very closely with the New York DFS, and that's a focus for us. And we are complying with all current law, mostly through the state level. But what's very exciting is, as we speak, the Congress is negotiating a stablecoin bill between Chairman McHenry and Ranking Member Waters. I know the Senate is involved, the Treasury is involved, the New York Fed is involved, as is the state. And so that's something that could really set a great pathway, hopefully for both state pathways to have jurisdiction over this, as well as having a federal oversight. And then we would be able to have the regulatory clarity, not only to operate in the country, but also to identify really good U.S. banking partners and have that business relationship and the security around that business relationship that we want to pursue.
And is the same thing happening globally for you all as well?
Yes, it's definitely a global market, and we're seeing actions, across the board, both in the EU, UK, Singapore, and so this is something that we can see start in the US with our launch and expand.
Start in the U.S. with the launch. That's quite revealing. Listen to this again.
It is involved. The Treasury is involved.
The Treasury's involved. Rosie Rios is involved. How many times have I told you about all of the people that have come from the U.S. Treasury and how that looks more like a transition team to me, and how this company looks just as much like a company that's been commissioned as it does a startup? Lauren's telling you, don't listen to me. I'm just some wacky YouTuber, remember?
The New York Fed is involved, as is the state. And
the New York Fed's involved, the Treasury's involved, and the state.
So that's something that could really set a great pathway, hopefully for both state pathways to have jurisdiction over this, as well as having a federal oversight.
So you're talking about the stablecoin being available in New York and on the national and international level.
And then we would be able to have the regulatory clarity, not only to operate in the country, but also to identify really good U.S. banking partners.
Also to identify real good U.S. banking partners, not to mention the fact, you know why I think it's so important that she brings up the NYDFS and not only getting the clarity that we need in the New York State, working with the Treasury and the New York Fed, and then she mentions the state as well, because New York is where Wall Street is. Come on in. Yeah. And could Ripple transform the global financial landscape? Mario Nofal asked a question that we've been pointing at for the last 7 years. Wall Street analysts speculate that the BRICS coalition aims to challenge the dominance of the U.S. dollar, potentially with a Ripple crypto strategy. You don't say. Of course we know all of this. Yes, Mario. Yes. Have us on. We'll explain it. And think about this at the same time. They say we're closer now than ever to seeing X payments platform rolled out and go live. At the same time that we're about to get the real US dollar stablecoin launched on Ethereum network and the XRP ledger. X can easily grow to serve into a large global economic financial system of its own right. There's no question about that. It is going to become a super app very soon. And all of this digital world is going to matter. The truth is exactly what Mikkel says here. Take a listen.
Guys, they are not marketing this system to you.
They is Ripple.
They are marketing it to the institutions, and the institutions have no incentive to tell you what's being built. I have a feeling these things are being built behind the scenes. When they're ready, they will be flipped on. You won't have any idea, because essentially their goal is to make it seem like their application, their front end software is the thing being upgraded, when realistically it's the rails underneath that only the enthusiasts like you and I are paying attention to from the start. Guys, they are not marketing this system to you. They are marketing it to...
And that's really the truth. They're not marketing this to us. However, once the real US dollar, digital dollar stablecoin launches on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, Ripple may not directly be consumer facing. They can still be enterprise facing, but it certainly gives them all the cover they need to operate in a consumer facing way when they go to conferences and things of that nature, because their digital dollar can be used on any level, consumer to enterprise level. And that changes the game as far as I'm concerned. And so will this. Dark Defender says, hi all. Let's refocus on the weekly time frame. XRP hit the latest Fibonacci support that we were told about by Dark Defender of 39 cents of the fifth Elliott waves, or of the 5 Elliott waves, targeting $1.88, $5.85, and $18.22. As we approach the lowest point, I anticipated any movement below 39 cents could alter the structure that we've been observing. Weekly RSI figures hit the lowest points, support the price action, and the signals we are in an oversold area. Reversal incoming. Have a great weekend, everyone. And I remind everybody of this. Remember this. Remember, XRP dropped 27% in March of 2017. I remember, I was here. Before it pumped 1,444% in only 3 weeks. And if history repeats itself, we could see a $6.80 XRP in 3 weeks. That's how fast it can happen. Stay sharp. There's no question about it. And this is what it looked like the last time we saw that dip in 2017 that's being referenced, before we saw that first leg up and then a pullback, some sideways downward motion, and then the real shot, and then coming up and pulling back, capitulating for a few months, and then up again we went to 384, as you know. Are we in that same place? Because here's where that dip and pullback is. And if we don't fall below 39 cents, according to the technical analyst, we are, in fact, in that same place. Now, we're going into the freedom zone, and boy, oh boy, are you going to want to join us for the truth today. What about that conflict over in Ukraine? How did it start? All the things you need to know that are happening behind the scenes, we're going to reveal to you right now. And this clip is also going to reveal to you just how dangerous the censorship issue and how sensitive we have to be to the censorship issue. We have to be to that, because we've experienced so many times that we've been suspended or demonetized on our channel just for using free speech. I hope you'll go to digperspectives.com, click the Freedom Zone, and join us for almost next to nothing. We're going in right now. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. All right, welcome back. The truth comes out.